So the first thing we need to do is take our template, which we pre-cut out before the workshop, and set it in the middle of the top of the barrel. Now this can be adjusted to either side to fit your situation. We're just going to put it in the middle for a generic rain barrel. You're going to trace that with a Sharpie around the edges. And then we've got a 1/2 inch wood bit, or 3/4 inch wood bit, or spade bit. And in each of the 4 corners we're going to put a hole. So we have access for our saw to cut this. Then we're going to use our saw, and we're going to cut along the line we just drew with the Sharpie. Be careful not to lose a finger. An aquatic plant basket you can get from Home Depot or Lowe's, and that's going to fit nicely into that hole we just cut. That's going to be our trash trap, so leaf and debris that comes through your gutter will be caught right there. Now we're not going to attach that, so we can just easily take it out, bang it on the side of the barrel, and get rid of the debris. Now, if you have a problem with the mosquitoes, what we recommend is that you just use a teaspoon or so of vegetable oil or olive oil and put it in the top of the barrel, and that will create a skim on the top that will prevent the mosquitoes from breeding. But we also provide a piece of screen if you want to use that, and what you could do is just super glue, cut that to fit, and then super glue it to the top of the basket, or you can use a hot iron and it will melt that to the top of the basket really easily. So after you have your basket set, you've got 3 different fittings that we need to put into the side of the barrel. We've got an overflow, we've got a brass fitting that we're going to use for filling up buckets or flower pots and that type of thing. And then we've also got a fitting on the bottom that we're going to put it within 1 inch or so of the bottom, so we can draw this down in the wintertime if we want to, or we can empty the barrel if we want to move it. Also, we'll use that fitting to hook up to any irrigation systems we want. So we're going to continue to use this 3/4 inch bit. And like I said, these can all be adjusted to fit your specific situation. We're just going to do a really generic barrel with using 3 sides. So we're going to use our 90-degree elbow fitting for this top overflow. And the only thing you want to make sure is that you are far enough down that as you turn this in, your 90-degree elbow isn't going to hit your lip, so you can actually spin it in. And then we're going to use our brass fitting. And if it's hard to turn, it's just use a pair of pliers, and it'll make it a lot easier. We're probably going to have to grab a pair of pliers here. We're just going to turn this in with pliers, and then take it right back out. Then we're going to take our plastic 90-degree elbow. Now you can use plumber's tape on this if you want to. I've used it in the past and also not used it. I've never had a problem with leaking, so I'm just going to not use it for this demonstration. You're going to go ahead and turn it in. Now if you do end up having a leaking problem, what you can do is use some waterproof caulk and just caulk the outside and the inside, and it should solve the problem pretty easily. So once we have that 90-degree in, now once you have that set and you set your rain barrel in place, all you have to do is hook a hose up to that, slide it over the barbed fitting, and run it to wherever you want your overflow to go. The next fitting that we're going to set is down at the bottom. This is going to be used for drawing down the barrel if we need to move it, or if we want to draw it down for the wintertime and winterize the barrel, or if we're going to hook this up to an drip irrigation system. You want to have it down at the bottom so you can draw all the water out. So we're just basically, I'm going to go about 1 inch from the bottom. And go ahead and put your hole right there. And then we're going to
instructions and everything?
We use all food grade barrels, and most of them are like organic soy sauce or organic vinegar. So, it doesn't hurt, but it's particularly vinegar can kill your grass. So you may want to rinse it out first. So once you have those threads, you're going to look through your materials, and we have in our kit a straight fitting. Make sure you select the straight one and not the 90 degree. And what we're going to do is go ahead and set that. And again, you can use plumber's tape on these if you're worried about any leaking. But if you drill your hole pretty straight and it's not larger than it should be, you should be fine. Okay, so once that's set, this is the tricky part. We've got 3 pieces to this bottom. Small section of hose, the straight fitting that you just installed, and then this piece comes like this in the package. And it's basically just a straight barb fitting and this clamp, plastic clamp. And then you've got an adapter so you can hook this up to a hose. System. So at this point you're gonna unscrew these screws on this clamp far enough you can slide the hose in. I have to let it out a little bit. And all these parts are usually available at your hardware store, Lowe's, Home Depot, or local hardware store. Okay, so you're going to push that hose into the clamp so it's flush on the other side. And then take your straight barb fitting, slide into the hose, and then tighten your clamp back down. And then you're going to take your adapter, go ahead and hook that up. So now you've got an on and off valve right here. So you can easily draw this barrel down in the wintertime or hook it up, and then you're going to go ahead and slide that onto your straight fitting. Okay. And then our third piece of the puzzle is going to be and that's this brass fitting. So we're going to use the same spade bit and select somewhere about halfway up the barrel. We want to make sure we're high enough up that we can fit a pot underneath, your watering pot underneath of it, but low enough that you can actually draw down some water to utilize it. Again, we're going to go ahead and just install this brass fitting. Should be easier than the plastic ones. You lay the barrel down on the side. And again, it might. Again, it's a lot easier if you've got a pair of pliers. You can just turn it in with those and simplify your life a little bit. And obviously, when you get this thing turned in, you would, preferably have the spigot pointing down. And that's basically the build. And then now again, you can customize this for your needs. If you'd rather have the overflow valve, in a different location, of course you can do that. You can easily hook this up to another barrel, so you can kind of use 2 barrels for one spigot, and you have more storage capacity for your irrigation system. But you're going to want to set this on something solid You can either take the turf off and lay down a little bit of crush and run, or utilize existing stone area or concrete powder. You can lay down concrete blocks, but if you're going to use it for irrigation, you're going to want a little bit of fall to create enough gravity to feed your irrigation. So you'd preferably have it up on some blocks, maybe a foot or two high. So to hook this up to the gutter system, you're going to just take a saw and cut your gutter off a couple feet above the barrel. And then if you go to your Lowe's or Home Depot, you can get accordion style gutter adapters, and you're just going to slide that over your cut gutter, put 2 or 3 screws in, and then just run that over to your rain barrel and run it right into the basket here, and that'll feed your barrel. Now, if there are other options out there, if you want to get fancy, the Great American Rain Barrel Company makes an adapter, a stainless steel adapter, that will fit into your existing gutter, and it basically has a bypass system, so you can open that shelf up and it'll run directly into your barrel. But if you want to bypass the barrel in the wintertime, you just shut that and it'll utilize your normal gutter system. So that's basically it.